Hello, super kids. Welcome to another interesting class. And in today's class, we'll be looking at modes of worship, beliefs, and festivals. Now, in Nigeria, we worship God in three different ways. We worship God in three different ways. And the first mode of worship is Islam. The first mode of worship is Islam. Can we say that together? Yes. So Muslims practice Islam. They worship in the mosque which they attend on Fridays. They read the Holy Quran. An imam teaches them about God and the Quran. The festivals they celebrate is called Eid. Now Muslims worship in the mosque on Fridays. They read the Holy Quran and they have an imam to teach them about their God and Quran. Now the next mode of worship is Christianity. Christians worship God in the church on Sundays. They read the Holy Bible. Their book is called the Holy Bible. A pastor teaches Christians about God and the Bible. Christians celebrate Christmas and, of course, Easter. I believe you are familiar with some of these celebrations. So they celebrate Christmas and as well Easter. Christians celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ at Christmas. So this is the reason for their celebration. They exchange gifts during this period. Now the third mode of worship is a traditional worship. It is a traditional worship. Some people worship gods in traditional ways, and different ethnic groups also have their different ways of traditional worship. The Yoruba traditional worshippers worship Shango. Shango is interpreted the god of thunder, Oshun, the god of fertility, and Ogun, the god of iron. So that's the three major gods that the Yoruba traditional worshippers worship. They have Shango, Oshun, and of course Ogun, which is the god of iron. Igbo traditional worshippers worship the spirit of their ancestors, and they also worship Amadioha, which is the Igbo god of thunder. The Igbo god of thunder. All traditional worshippers, whether from the Yoruba ethnic group or from the Igbo ethnic group, they worship in a shrine. Traditional worshippers worship in the shrine. So just like the Muslims worship in the mosque, the Christians worship in the church, traditional worshippers worship where? Beautiful, in the shrine. So that is it for modes of worship. Let's move on to beliefs and festivals. Now, what is a superstition? A superstition is believing that a good or bad thing will happen to you if you do something else. Different ethnic groups have their different beliefs, and that is what we call superstition. Like we said, it is believing that a good or bad thing will happen to you if you do something else. Now, in Asaba, people believe that they should not eat ogbono soup, otherwise bad things will happen to them. In the past, people from Calabar believed twins were evil. Any woman who had twins was sent away from the village. Nowadays, people do not believe these things anymore. People do not believe these things anymore. So these are some of the different beliefs that people have. And let's move on to festivals in Nigeria. There are many kinds of festivals in Nigeria. Different ethnic groups also have their different festival. Let's take a look at the New Yam Festival. This is one of the biggest festivals celebrated by the Igbo people. It is celebrated in August every year. And on the night before the festival, people get rid of all the yams of the old year. This is because the Igbos believe that the new year must begin with fresh yam. Thus his name, New Yam Festival. Before the festival starts, the new yams are offered to gods and ancestors. Then they are distributed to the villagers. This is done by the oldest man in the village. So champion, the New Yam Festival, as its name goes, is the biggest festival celebrated by the Igbos, and it is usually done when? In which month? Yes, in August every year. Another festival is the Eyo festival. The Eyo festival. Now, a long time ago, Oba Oyekan was the former king of Lagos. When he died, the Eyo festival was held in his honor. The Eyo festival is held whenever an Oba dies. An Oba means a king. It is also held at other times in Tinubu Square in Lagos. During the festival, the Egungun, which is the masquerade, covered in white clothes, dances and honor their gods. They also mark the beginning of the new Oba's reign. So that is for the Eyo festival. It is a festival of masquerades, dancing and honoring their gods. Another festival in Nigeria is the Argungu Fishing Festival. This festival happens every year in the village of Argungu in Kebbi State. The most important event at the festival is the fishing show. During this show, almost 3,000 fishermen stand by the river. That show is a lot of fishermen. So they all have a fishing net and a guard in their hands. When a signal is given, all the fishermen jump into the river while musicians play and sing songs. The fishermen try to catch the largest fish possible. When the fishing is over, no one can fish in the river until the next festival. So this is for the Argungu Fishing Festival. It is a fishing festival done in Kebbi State. You see the fish on your screen, so big. So each fisherman tries to catch the largest fish possible. Now let's talk about some common hairstyles. Different ethnic groups have different ways of making their hair. A common hairstyle for men in Nigeria is the low cut, skin cut, and another is the afro. Yes, low cut, skin cut, and afro. Amongst the Yoruba women, a common hairstyle is the shuku. That is a plait, everything round, and it has the hands at the center. Other popular hairstyles are didi and patewo. This is common among the Yoruba women. Amongst the Igbos, they have the isiowu and isinkpo. So when a young girl is coming into womanhood, she's expected to wear a style called the isinkpo. So they have the isiowu style and the isinkpo style. The Hausa and Fulani also have a hairstyle that they call Zani. So they call their hairstyle Zani. So you can see her on the screen. That is the typical hairstyle for a Hausa lady or a Fulani lady. Now let's move on to adornments. Adornments are cultural items used by people to beautify themselves. Examples of such cultural items are beads, chains, and rings. So they are used by people to beautify themselves, to add to their beauty. Sometimes adornments are not only worn for their beauty, they also play a major role in traditional practices and religion. Remember our ethnic mosaic day, right? A lot of Bini girls, Edo girls wore the beads. So it is a part of their tradition. A lady's attire in Bini is not complete without her beads. So it's not just for beautification now, it's also a major part of their tradition or religion. And some of the materials that are used to make adornments are animal skin, we have bones, we have ceramic, we also have cloth, we have coral, and we have glass. We have ivory also, we have metals, we have rocks, and then we have wood. Wow! So we have come to the end of today's lesson, and I believe by now you should be able to list some of the modes of worship in Nigeria, some beliefs in different ethnic groups, major festivals in Nigeria, some common hairstyles, and as well some materials used for making adornments. Well done, champion. You are doing great. So until the next class, see you, and do not forget to attempt your quiz. Bye bye.